Hi everyone, this is DigiTalk with Bimulus. The purpose of this podcast is to raise built environment digitalization awareness amongst industry, showcase Singapore's efforts on built environment digitalization such as BIM, IDD and IPD, and look at digitalization worldview through the lens of Singapore. Every month of the last Friday, we'll be inviting guests to discuss the latest BIM trends happening in the world. We look forward to you following our podcast. Thank you. Hi everyone. We are glad that we are having our ninth DigiTalk with Bimulus. And today's guest we have Pong, who will be talking about artificial intelligence and how it affects our built environment. So we're very blessed to have Pong's presence to give us a bit of sharing on this. And he has done a deck of slides to introduce what it means for artificial intelligence and its influence on the built environment. So I'll hand it over to you, Pong, to introduce a bit of yourself before we dive into the actual topic.
Sure. Thank you, Chris. So for the invitation and for this AI initiatives and sharing, right? So it started since nearly 1 year ago. So since December. So the discussion went on from there. So I was trying ChatGPT after Chris introduced the ChatGPT to me, and I was really surprised what the ChatGPT can do. Then I started the initiative from there, and to date is a heavy use and it's a daily use. So for me, right, I'm actually architecture by training. So I've practiced in Malaysia since my graduation from China, Tongji University, since 2001. So, and I came to Singapore in the year 2008, and I'm now with the agency. So before I joined the agency, I was practicing as an architectural associate with some international firms. So for now, for my work, right, I cannot share much, but I can share the initiatives as a person. So I do learn a lot off work. So therefore, I thought it would be meaningful. Maybe we can, during this discussion, we can go into certain topics and discuss. So what are the concerns, how to move on. Yeah. But I actually prepared a deck of slides for this sharing. So for this sharing, I will be covering these few, I'll be covering like the recent AI search. So the overview of this ChatGPT, the development of ChatGPT and my own AI use cases, and also gathered some inputs for the AEC sector for its practical applications, the limitations, considerations, and even the future of ChatGPT. So, and I've listed down all the references for this sharing. So before I start, any questions or anything you want me to answer?
Not really. I thought the kind of questions that we have probably is already in your deck of slides. But generally, you can explain a bit what is AI all about, and how is it affecting our built environment? How are these AI platforms actually applied and used in a meaningful way in these workflow or application? And
Sure.
even tell us exactly where we are heading towards, and how can we keep ourselves relevant to the industry in the context of AI. I think most probably all the information is probably you're gonna present.
Covered. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I'm trying to. So for now, let's start with the background, general background. So why are we looking at this? So for recently, right, that we observe, so there's a surge in the discussion for this AI, especially in generative AI. So we believe this can be applied across the industry. For AEC, I believe that we can use algorithms, machine learnings, techniques for it to be incorporated to the existing workflow and the tools so that it can be much more faster, smarter, and easier for users. I have listed down 4 use cases. So for instance, data-driven enhancements with these AI. So I will go into details later. So the second one is the workflow optimization with increased automation and of course its productivity. So predictive maintenance and enhance efficiency throughout for the four stages. In Singapore, we call it actually we call it IDD lah. So integrated digital delivery. So it covers the 4 stages of digital design, digital fabrication, digital construction, and digital assets delivery and facility management. So let's move on. So for this overview of ChatGPT, I did a quick search. So a glimpse into the transformer. So what is ChatGPT about? So ChatGPT actually refers to the generative pre-trained transformer. So it's a large language model trained on a huge amount of data. So it's capable of generating human-like response. So the transformer here, right, refers to a type of deep learning model architecture introduced in the paper. So I've listed down the link as well. So this deck of slide can be shared. So it's a PDF. So it's my own knowledge. So no issue sharing. Yeah. So they utilize self-attention mechanism to weight input data differently, enable them to capture long-range dependency. So in here is a long-range dependency. There's also understanding of the language itself. So you can look into it when you have time. So the long-range dependency is actually referring to the logical relationship in one sentence. So in one long sentence, there's actually different meaning, different terms, right? So this large language model, they can actually interpret it. Yeah. So with this natural language processing task to them, it's manageable. So for the training method, I understand there's a 2-step approach. One is really engaging the internet. So for the text to learn, for its grammar, facts, reasonings, and following on with the human fine-tuning. So after the fine-tuning, everything will be automated. So this is how the ChatGPT works. And for the development, right? So now it's really ChatGPT 4. So what I find is ChatGPT 4 is much more, better as compared to ChatGPT 5. So I believe the key reason is I find it useful because there are a lot of plugins, add-ons. So for instance, the PDF, we can actually upload PDF into the ChatGPT, and for ChatGPT, it can actually analyze and summarize all the content for us. Wow, this is super. Then beside ChatGPT, for now, the recent 3 weeks, I understand there's actually a DALL-E 3. So for this DALL-E 3, right, wow, I just tested like this week, actually 1 week before. So I generated some images that I can share with you. So yeah, so for this development of ChatGPT, as you can observe, right, is the data, with the size, and of course, the intelligence also different when it comes with different data size. Okay, so there are, of course, detail, you can go into it. Yeah, let's move on. So for my AI use case, right? So I use it for 3 key things. So first thing is the programming. So when we're talking about programming, so for my work, right, recently we are looking at really data. So therefore the programming works. So for instance, the automation for data processing to transfer one platform to another. So for instance, BIM authoring to Microsoft Excel. So this is quite common, right? So conventionally, we will manually use Dynamo for it. For now, we're still using Dynamo, but with ChatGPT's help, right, the productivity is raised because of the automation. And we don't need to code. I don't need to code. So basically, I just need to know what and why and where are the data, how is it being processed, what is my expectation. I can list down everything I want, and then to ask the large language model to generate the codes automatically for me to test. So therefore, I will explain the processes for the entire workflow as well. So for the data manipulation, similarly, so for my side, we will need to extract data out from OpenBIM format. So in Singapore, we have really newly launched IFCSG, but it will be covered by other people. So for here, still, so this is the initiatives for me to extract data. Not only IFC, OpenBIM, any format, you can actually extract it, then visualize it. So I will explain in a later slides. So beside these two, right, so the creation and improvements for me is like exponential with the help of AI. So we can augment the creation of content. So for PowerPoint, Excel, Word, poem writing, and images, videos, logos, graphical icons, and of course, learnings. So when we are mentioning learnings, is really documenting what we have learned and share it in an open manner. So, and I don't need to worry about my English, right? So because I'm Chinese educated, so for me, English, I always need to go through certain checks. So now ChatGPT can do the work for me. So my English suddenly improved. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so programming and data manipulation. So when we are talking about programming and data manipulation, right? So as a general application, normally we will have a proprietary BIM format. So there's some spelling mistake. Okay, rectified, right? So proprietary BIM format. So it goes to OpenBIM IFC. Then from IFC, I will actually use it to code, right? Provide me certain codes, and then I run it in the Python. Then for the IFC model, we do not need for now, we do not need to open the IFC file in order to understand its content. So by using Python, we can actually parse and parse pass and actually analyze the entire thing using VBA script. So earlier, what I showed you, right, is actually until the Python script. So now today, this morning, I just asked it to generate more VBA script, then for it to generate the pie chart. So which means I can automate the entire, not only automating the file passing, but also make it into a visualized manner in a pie charts, in charts, so that we can understand what are the key content, right? That's contained in this particular IFC file. So it's quite useful when we are talking about cost quantification. So normally QS side, they will need to open the BIM file in order to understand its measurement. So if consultants, the engineers, architects, or anyone, so is providing low quality BIM model, they can just without opening that file, they can give feedback by just one click. Yeah, so this is the use case that I understand from my past experience. Okay, so for here, if I can actually do a very quick demo. So for instance, this is the conversation that I had with ChatGPT that can be shared. So for here is loading. Yeah, while it's loading, I don't want to waste everyone's time. Let's go to this okay, BIM Colab file. So there's a sign in needed. Yeah, maybe I put the demo at the back. So because there's a sign in, there's an issue, let's explain the overall use cases first. So this is the first use cases for the programming and data manipulation. So and I have more use cases, for instance, this PowerPoint, Excel, Word. So how do we use ChatGPT for it? So for instance, the presentation structure and content, right? So normally we will have problems. So for that problems to translate into solutions, for me, I use ChatGPT with clear instructions. In Singapore, we call it prompt engineering. I'm not sure where these terms comes from, but so prompt engineering is actually quite accurate when we are talking about instructions, how to articulate the instructions in order to get what you want. So because we need to test and retest, so therefore I thought this clear instruction is quite important. So to define your expectations, which means the processes and the considerations, whatever. So objectives, you need to make it into parameters, right? Then where are the data? So which means the file path. Are you storing it in the cloud or whatever location you are storing? So you need to draw that location, draw that data, then from there passing it through to whatever platform you want. Then you need to set the destination, right, for the file path. So, and you can define users input for it as well. So for earlier on, we need to code these, but it's a simple code, but now we do not need to, we just mention a get users input. So the ChatGPT will automate the programming language for you to do this. So these are tasks that earlier on, so even we miss out, we can actually ask ChatGPT to generate. So, and the considerations for your output, for instance, what you want to show, how you want to show it, in terms of charts, tables, diagrams, and text. So for now, a ChatGPT can generate diagrams as well. So and how do you manage change? So for instance, when you are talking with ChatGPT, right? So 3, 4 dialogues down the road, ChatGPT suddenly, I'm not sure it's smart enough now, but for me, for my experience, it tends to forget certain items. Wow, then you will go into frustration. You need to re-articulate the entire terms again. Wow, that is a problem. So therefore, I thought it would be really useful to define your instruction first. And after that, right, if something works, then you record it or you document it in a way that can be translated into a manual. So a manual for anyone want to take over, right? You can just pass him this clear instruction. So with that instruction, you do not need to worry about you do not need to worry about the code anymore. So sorry. Okay, so my battery running off, running flat. Okay, I just plug in my battery. So it's on. So let's move on. So this is my sharing in terms of how to use ChatGPT for PowerPoint, Excel, and Word, or to generate that kind of VBA scripts. Okay, so let's move on for poem writing. So these are the 2 poems. I actually during my time, I generated a lot of poems because I'm quite frustrated during certain period of time. Yeah, so this is for ChatGPT, right? They can do the translation automatically. So which I find is really useful. So for instance, for here, right? So one click, this is the link that I shared. So 心中报国传四民士卒皆非我清净众蒙独醒自声明. So and of course the first sentence is actually 沧浪禁足歌谣吟. So these are actually Chinese poems and it's in the Song Dynasty, Song Cao Dynasty. So from here, right, I can ask ChatGPT to generate the rhythmic English poem translation. And surprisingly, it's really really good. So for instance, this is Amidst the Surging Wave, Pure and Cubic Land. So songs of welcome rise, gratitude they send. So there's actually a rhythmic at the end. So that, and it really conveys the meaning they want to convey. So this is surprisingly good for them. So this was in the year in February and March. So this is the work that I did. So and
So you those poems are actually written by in the Song Dynasty. You basically just ask Chat with GPT.
no, I actually I'm Chinese educated, so therefore I learned to write poem in, actually it's not poem as a start. So my wife is a writer, so I challenged her. So I thought, when we are writing, right, I can do it. So let's do a very short paragraph. So I really generated a very short paragraph. Then from there we move on. So we move on with a poem. So then actually ChatGPT, I tried to ask ChatGPT to generate the poem in that dynasty, but it cannot. So because there are three words, 5 words, 7 words. But the good thing about ChatGPT is it can provide you a lot of similar wordings. With that wordings, right, then I can select, because every single character is a different meaning. So therefore, from here, you need to have the sensitivity of that characters, so to convey what you feel, right? Yeah. So this is the Chinese part, Chinese poem writing. So, but the thing
So
is,
you
yes.
you,
So I'm
you
using it in a two-way. So one is really to select provide the character. Another way is doing the translation.
I see. So there's two things that you did. You basically took some Mandarin words and then you post it to ChatGPT to form a poem for you. And then
Yes.
after which you translate them into English from
Yes. Yes.
the Mandarin
So
poem. Okay.
yes. So for the Chinese poem, there's another website. So
Okay.
called it's another website lah. So the website will determine what kind of tune or tone, because
Mm.
in different dynasty the tone is different, which means the
It's a different
pronunciation
kind
is
of style.
yes different. For now, whatever we pronounce, right, in
Mm.
that particular word in that dynasty, a totally different pronunciation.
Mm.
So therefore, we need to check according to the required dynasty's pronunciation. So is
Mm.
that particular word, right? That is different. So there are also simple Chinese and traditional Chinese. So
Mm.
and the writing is also different. So
I see.
therefore, yeah. So earlier on, I was writing the simple Chinese. Then later on, there are some comments. This one should be traditional. So I move on. So this is the poem writing that ChatGPT assisted. Given me another dimension of fun. So we call it fun because after writing it, right, with these few sentences, I can express what I want. So for instance, this Chinese poem writing, right? It's okay. So for here, it's only like 4 sentence, 5 words in each sentence, but it actually conveys the entire picture. So for instance, a lively scene of playful birds suddenly attacked by a snake. So and it passes a tree rustling in the wind, all creating a sense of excitement and movement. So this is actually I didn't ask for that time, right? I did not ask ChatGPT provide me the rhythmic poem. I just asked him to do the translation direct. So today I just did the quick translation. So therefore, yeah, with some experience, then they can ChatGPT can provide a poem with from Chinese to English, direct translate and rhythm with a rhythmic effect. So I thought it would be really good. Then okay, so to move on, right? So the first thing I generated with DALL-E is this Gantt chart. So with this Gantt chart, because I was studying some contract, so how do we extract the precedent conditions? So to automate the entire master program. So what's the condition and what we need to do, what the actions need to be taken by the contractor to inform the architects. So for certain delay event. So from there, right, I actually try to ask, I was just testing, can DALL-E generate the entire master program for me? Then this is the result. So I thought, how come it doesn't work? So I was thinking and trying, after trying a few times, right, then I understand it's just for ideation, it's just for image generation for now. So for DALL-E are able to generate the entire so-called master program, but in a very infographic manner. It's not really for engineering, for science, no. For now, it's just for ideation. So the next step, right? I try to use if this ChatGPT DALL-E, right, can generate this kind of image. What if I ask it to generate certain architectural work? So can you generate me Gantt chart inspired architectural work? So this is what I just tried in the prompt. It really generated 4 images for me. So looking at it is rectilinear, right? It's something like but it's not that bad as well. So I thought, this is really a good tool for ideation. Then I move on. So
So
let's do a render.
the DALL-E is also Chat GPT platform.
Yes,
Just now
yes.
when
It's
you
a
showed
plug-in. It's a plug-in under ChatGPT.
okay, then just now I see that you have the Gantt chart that you said.
Yes.
So how did you import the Gantt chart into the ChatGPT?
It's just copy pasting from Excel. So for now, I copy pasted the entire, not entire, just partial. So to try that out, hey, whether you can you actually generate this for me? Can? Oh, then I populate I mean, I transferred certain data, just copy paste. That's it. So you
And
can
then
generate this kind of
and then it
images.
created this Gantt chart image for
Yes,
you. Oh,
correct.
that's quite interesting.
Yes,
Okay.
quite
And I
interesting,
believe
right?
and I believe your this is only for the subscription account. If it's a free one,
I'm not sure this one. I'm not sure because I really paid for it. Because when you are not paying for it, right, there's a certain amount of time constraint and questions constraint. So therefore, it's quite frustrating. After 1 hour, I need to stop. but my work cannot stop. So therefore, I was thinking, hey, just pay for it. This
how
is
much
my
how much do you pay annually?
personal needs. So for instance, I pay for 20 SG USD, 20
Per month.
USD per month for it.
Okay, so 1 year is about $360.
Yes, yes, yes.
So you pay
So
as one annual sum, or do you like pay every month?
monthly, I paid a monthly subscription
And
fee.
you can cut the subscription anytime you want.
Yes, you
Okay.
can if you want
Mm,
to. Yeah,
mm,
yeah. The issue now is like, yeah, it's so yeah. There's also concern and discussion whether
mm,
are we
mm.
over reliant on the use of ChatGPT
Okay.
because once you get the sense of it, right? Wow, it's so
Yeah.
powerful that you keep
Okay.
on wanting more. The key reason is because we are limited by our knowledge, so by our programming capability. For now, with AI in, right, it's like opening another dimension of learning path, and it's like really Iron Man. So we wear on the Iron Man suit, then hey, we can actually see things differently. So this
Mm,
is how I feel as a person.
mm,
Okay, let's move on. So yeah, because there's some slides that I want to share. So for instance, this is a dandelion pavilion. Wow. So hey, can you generate me a certain dandelion inspired pavilion? So because I do manage certain events for the competitions, so the first thing I want to try out is the form, right? Okay? And of course, it's generated a lot of different images. So with these different images, this is the best that I felt. Hey, that's it. So I think there's certain reality, practicality, while incorporating the dandelion idea in it. So I think this is perfect, right? It's not like the UK type. There's a lot of spike, but here is like a smaller bubbles, and it looks like a dandelion. Then, yeah. So I felt, hey, this DALL-E can do something. So therefore, I move on. How about so far in the air? But so far in the air, right? It's just a topic that is afterthought. So the thing is, I wanted is tropical living. So with this idea, right? Suddenly it generated this because on the way home, right? I was asking, hey, can you generate me a happy architectural work? Happy architectural work. So it's very simple. Then there are simple tree house, and a lollipop. So they will generate you different series. So there are 4 images that will generate for you. Then from there, I just give Chat GPT certain direction to ask him to regenerate. So this is the another outcome that I felt satisfied. So and I thought, this is possible and it's really innovative. So because I went to certain resort, they really have certain this web, right? This net disgusted and it felt like you are sitting in the air. Yeah, so this is the outcome that I felt is really good. So therefore I shared this. So it's like a sofa in the air.
So you
So
basically type something on the DALL-E and then you generate these images for you. Is that
yes,
right?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on. so I can share further later. So okay, then I move on to something more realistic. So for instance, living pots and orchid-inspired architecture design. Hey, the living pots, wow, it's amazing. Also, but the thing is, I believe there are certain data they obtain on the internet. This is not new. After generating it, I try to locate this image. There are similar architectural work like this kind. But the thing is, the exact work, right, I cannot find. So, but it is actually a good concept. So like living pots with brutalism. So brutalism is the thing I like during my study timing, understanding brutalism, using of concrete and expressive. But besides brutalism, I added on some organic architecture and Zaha's, the curvature. So can I combine different architectural style together, and then and result a new form that I like, right? So for here, it's just a trial, just an attempt, and it works. Hey, this one I thought is good lah. So therefore I shared. Then
And this is
I
not extracted as an existing image. It's based on what you have typed in, and then
correct.
you
So
combine
it's just
those
few words,
concepts,
Yeah.
and then
Can you
you
combine
use
brutalism? Yeah. Can you combine brutalism, organic architecture, and deconstructivism?
okay. And what is interesting is that then this is all for the purpose of, when we are studying architecture, we often go to the library to get inspired by works that is done by certain architects, or we are always very image search. Yeah, we always try to search for images to help inspire us for certain design that sometimes when we get stuck. And this is that purpose, right? Is to motivate you, look at images, and then it will help inspire you for certain things, and you might want to have your design in this manner. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yes, yes. And because I was told, hey, ChatGPT cannot do design, so they cannot. This is not design, this is just image mode. But I thought this is really useful for design, right? For the early part of the conceptual stage. So, how do you want the feel of your construction uh, outcome, architectural
Get
work,
an
right?
inspiration,
So
to get
yes,
inspiration.
get the inspiration. Then actually you can do the other way around. There's a lot of ways that you can result whatever work that you want. So either form follow functions or form follow data or whatever, right? So for now, right, I'm just trying to test out this ChatGPT AI. So by using few words, right, can we massage or so called craft whatever architectural form that that can be resulted instead of so earlier on, like what you mentioned, we go for whatever inspiration through the library, looking at the images. But now we are using words, so there's a different level. It's a different ball game. So which means we use words, right? But we understand, hey, this brutalism will be related to concrete. Then organic architecture will be related to Frank Lloyd Wright's item, right? Works. There's horizontal lines, short vertical lines, and the style. Then when we are talking about deconstruct deconstructivism. So it's like the Zaha Hadid's the curve. So something like that. So I try to use it, then it can and test. So whether can ChatGPT generate the outcome. So then okay, so this is the next one. So then the subsequent try, right? Let's do an orchid inspired architectural work with brutalism with the earlier words. This is quite amazing. I didn't mention about the functions at all. So I just want to feel, what kind of result can be generated with these few words. So the words can be, because can be conveyed into feeling, right? So how can ChatGPT, a large language model, translate words into form? Wow, this is to me is really amazing,
Mm.
and it resulted this
Okay.
orchid-inspired architectural design. Yeah. To me, I thought it's good. So, okay, let's try the next one. Then every day I take bus. So on the bus, I I have some time. So hey, let's try to express the structural design.
You
So
did this on the
normally,
phone? You did it on the phone or you
yes,
do
I did on my mobile phone.
okay.
Mobile phone. Yeah, few words, right? And then it's you do not need to have a really heavy computing power because it's online. So
Okay.
these are the results. So for instance, I actually shared some of the. So in here, let's look at what I typed. This one, this image, right? So I need an exaggerated cantilever structure showcase. Irregular, simple, brutal minimalism, architectural design work. What winning perspective, please? So, these two images was generated. Simple words, but wow, I felt, wow, this is really good. I mean, to me, with these few words can generate a design like that. Wow, that normally I don't know, fresh grad or they cannot. I'm not sure they can or not. So yeah, so this one is quite good. So I thought, then how do I manipulate it further? So left image, so which means the direction. So more iterations on this direction, please. So then, it further incorporated more complexity with iterations. Then I thought, oh, okay, that's enough. So this is my attempt in this. But when I posted this, right, this image online, suddenly I got some feedbacks, really feedback, real feedback, because the key reason I felt that this one image, right, is lacking of practicality. So therefore, I actually got some negative feedback. So it's yeah, for this work. So I thought but from the discussion, from the feedback, right, then I got further inspired. So for instance, people commenting, hey, this looks like the Frank Lloyd Wright's the waterfall building. So then I was thinking, can we really add on the waterfall into the building itself? Then okay, so second step is add functionality. So I mentioned, can you generate a 3-story building? And moving on forward. So yeah, so this is the two images. So the left image was the first one. So after adding on the functionality, so as you can see, it's really strong, and the form, and it's really expressive in its structural manner. But I tried to add one column. Can we add a steel structure column to support to support this cantilever? Because I thought it would be more realistic, like really have some column, but I cannot. So DALL-E do have a limitation. So it's not for engineering, it's just for image creation generation, because it's generative AI based on vast data that they have. So which means they are generating this new image based on certain images. Yeah, so this is the thing they can do. So, but to me, it's good enough. Then we move on. Can we add waterfall in it? Wow, it's really a waterfall. So an orchid inspired, there's an orchid element in it. Then it looks like the Frank Lloyd Wright's work, and with Zaha Hadid's style. So this is just an attempt. Then moving on forward, right? So let's test it back. So I want to relate whatever I tested, right? Then I go back to this image, living pots. So can we have that style implemented on these living pots? This is the outcome. So to me, it's an improvement. So from the dense, uh, arrangements, then now it's like a resort-like approach. As you can observe, right, there's still certain mirror image that ChatGPT is trying to save its I don't know, computing power or what. So always give me some mirror image that I felt that it should not be. Yeah, then okay. So I asked him to do some irregular shape. Okay, then from here, right? Then I try to Google online for this. Then I noticed there are certain tools now that's available to make this image move from 2D to 3D video. So I did a try. This is 2D to 3D without without any model. 2D to 3D. I did not do any settings at all. So these are the link. This is the link. Let's try out whether I can click this link. Let me try to log in and test this out. So maybe you need your help to I think there's an issue logging in. Okay, never mind. Let's move on. Okay, after trying the 3D external work, right? And then I move on the internal. So this is the internal image that's generated from this ChatGPT, DALL-E. From still image, right? Let's see if it moves. You see, it can move from left to right. So there's certain content that the AI need to generate to let it move, right? So for instance, you can see, you can observe the AI actually added on certain details, right? Completed the entire form. So this is what this runway can do. Runway is not ChatGPT, it's another AI platform that allows you to transform 2D to 3D. Okay, let's move on. So then I was thinking, with that, I thought, can we do some logo design? So with infographics, right? Then I asked this ChatGPT to generate certain logos. These are the outcomes. So for instance, brutalism with that organic architecture, deconstructivism. So from here, can we add the word P inside? It can. So this is actually, and moving on, right? So as you can observe, I just type one word in only, and it can generate the image for me, which I felt like quite amazing. So organic architecture, then this P is translated into certain this kind of image. So there are still some memory. So in terms of the conversation that's being stored in the ChatGPT. Yeah, good, right? Okay, now you can see what's the impact, right? So from data manipulation to design creation, so and then a lot of new things that you can do. And beside that, I also did some quick learning on the use of Git for data sets and versions management, because I understand Git is actually a version control system. So I want to learn something on it. So I really go into ChatGPT. Then I generated this whole document using this the large language model. So to understand, I asked ChatGPT give me the time. So give me the time. Within 30 minutes, I want to learn this. So give me the structure. So understanding the use of Git and GitHub with BIM and beyond. So how do you install Git? Understanding of Bash, and then create a Git account, setting up. So set up Git with a Bash prompt. So creating personal access token for Git, and then how do you create, clone, and updating repository. So understanding branching and create switch branches. You can even merge branches. So these are the content. So what is Git and GitHub? The difference, the primary, the differences, the user interface. So these are good content that I thought for learning. So and this link is really you can click and you can study on your own. 30 minutes you can try whether it works or not. But I tried it works for me. So okay, so these are the I thought that ChatGPT is really a game changer, right? So for the AEC industry, I believe yeah, it can enhance the entire workflow. So this is a diagram. This diagram was generated by ChatGPT, and I did some details replacement. So for certain works to simplify it. So as you can observe, right, the key thing I observed, there's three key areas for the technology evolution, for the roles and benefits, natural language processing, and challenges. So ChatGPT is actually trying to mention the impact over on these four areas. So when we're talking about AI for AEC, architectural engineering and construction, what are the technology evolution? that AI can bring forward. So energy modeling, project management, the drones and robotics, for instance, when you're having data, so you can actually rely on the programming to enhance its data transfer, right? Digital twin, CDE, cloud-based collaboration, BIM, VDC, and IDD. So these are just areas that technology evolutions that AI can bring in besides this ChatGPT. So that I felt useful. So therefore, I am showing this diagram. So for natural language processing, right? So it can reply you with real-time answers based on the data that they have, or based on your data that you want them to have. You can upload the data to them. So use it as a repository. So this is the real-time applications that natural language processing can be applied. So the data extraction, visualization, just now we showed. So from the BIM IFC to Excel, then to charts. So for the roles and benefits, for instance, automation, predictive modeling, and data analysis. So these are basic, right? And for the challenges, of course, when you're talking about AAC, it's always on cost, time, quality. Beside that, there's safety and resources. This, everything can be improved. Yeah, so what I can observe, using the natural language processing, which is a large language model, is the communication part. So when we are talking about certain areas with ChatGPT's large amount of data, we can ensure, not ensure, so because the data is hidden, right? So therefore, we can have certain pointers from the AI system to whoever that's asking this. So I understand recently there's also medical term, right? In the medical use, for me, I try out as well. So because we can ask, what is the use of the statin? So what is the defects? It really lists out the entire whole range of statin, the defects and the advantages. So for you to understand better of that medicines. So this is the advantages that I think it's useful. So for the practical applications of ChatGPT in AEC, so for different stages, right? I believe it can assist conceptualization of ideas, right? Real-time technical assistance for your offering of suggestions that you can have. So these are the three key things that's consolidated for the design phase. For the fabrication, so problem solving, because of the vast data that you can have for calculation, formulas, explanation. So not only for construction, so anything. So because I'm using ChatGPT to assist my kids, right, for their Olympiad math. Wow. So it's Olympiad math is so difficult for me. So therefore, ChatGPT can really do explanation well. So, and moving on forward, we can have data-driven solutions based on historical data. And of course, anything that's related to language, so we can engage this AI platform. So troubleshooting. So even for compliance checks, but how do you use it? Is actually a document, the PDF version, right? So you can upload your codes, then for ChatGPT to analyze, summarize. Yeah. So this is what you can do. Now let's move on. So the limitations and considerations in here, I actually simplify it into 4 areas. So the interpretation, so lack of a human intelligence, so the emotion part, so the oversight. So we still need human. So for now, because we have intent, so we have every human got their own intent, background, expectations. But for machine, right? Maybe I'm not sure. So they do not have intent for now. So that's my personal view. Of course, you can program it to have a certain intent that you want it to have, but still human reliant. So, and for this interpretation, so it depends on the machine, right? Sometimes it can be biased, right? So with the data given to them, then it will lead to certain directions. Whether it's correct or incorrect, it depends on different people, right? And culture aspects. There's a lot of considerations you need to take. So the accountability, the transparency is not there. So for instance, the data. So just now we were generating a lot of different styles, but where is the data? Where are they getting the data? So what I understand for bigger firms, they cannot They cannot use Mid-Journey, DALL-E, or whatever image generating engine for design, because it's not generated by the company, but it's generated by an engine. So how do you rely on it? So for now, it's just for ideation, for mood image. I thought it would be good. So for real design, you still need people, right? Designers, architects to mention, hey, yes, no. So the decision maker, as usual, uh, not only the decision and the liability is by, correct? So reliability will not shift if AI is producing the work, because it's accountability, right? Unless this ChatGPT can pay, yeah, then there's different story. So yeah, and data privacy and breaches are also, for instance, the high potential of data privacy violation. So anything you don't want to share, just don't share. So if you want to share, then yeah, so there's a data protection that I'm not aware of. Yeah, concerned. So I've actually listed the source, the different source that links to this different topic that you can, anyone can take a look. So the future of ChatGPT. So I believe so it will assist on the continuous learning and improvement, right? So you can integrate with this ChatGPT for your own intent for learning, improvement, whatever directions that you want. So, and of course, beside the workflow, there's also early on we mentioned about technologies and processes. So for instance, in here, you can integrate it with technologies. So for personalized and adaptive learning experience with augmented reality, virtual reality, and IoT. So because they can do programming, right? So therefore, from here you can impose whatever you want into it for the integration for your needed outcomes. So the opportunities for customized AEC specific AI solutions. So instead of merely going forward just for automating tasks, right? You can actually do smarter. Yeah, that's what my friend mentioned. Hey, it's not just productivity, right? So there's also smartness in it. So for it to correct itself. So self-correctness, oh, this is really good. I thought this is the future for this AI model. Beside that, I thought, yeah, certain outcomes. So for now, I can feel that the reliability. So how? So the key here is from earlier on, people are using pencil, right? Moving on forward, then people are using laptop. Then for computer aided design, CAD, right? We digitize our workflow. So for it to be copied and then shared, then we move from CAD, we move to building information modeling. So data rich approach. Then from this BIM, right, then we move on further with programming, computational programming, right? Or computational design, computational BIM. So whatever they want to call it. So it's making rules to do the work and people focus on the thinking process. And now we are one step now using AI, artificial intelligence. So, but for now, it's still, I felt that it can be improved because the prompt coming in and out, we still need real people, us, to do the prompt engineering because they do not understand what you want. So, and of course, among people, there are also, you know, misunderstanding. So I thought this is acceptable. So we just need to craft it out clearly. So for the machine to take on, this would be good. So but the thing is the over reliance. So instead of making use of AI and feel like, hey, without AI, then hey, everything is quite different. After you use it, then you felt that, oh, yeah, so the gap that we are missing as a normal human being, we are so limited with our capability. So it's like opening the entire dimension into a different world. So with this augmented AI approach, I thought there are a lot of new solutions that can be built. So for instance, for me, right, I really built certain apps in just half a day. So for my work, so I really built that app. So I was, wow, I can do this. It's really surprising. And I felt that's really exciting for now. Yeah, okay. So for now, this is the references that I can share with you. So overall, the exploration today is grounded on online materials and of course my own know-how. Yeah, so I hope that this is useful. Yeah. Anything you want to ask? Please.
I think that's it. I think your explanation has a lot of clarity as to how AI can be used, not only for the built environment kind of application, but uh as a hobbyist, um you can also use it for your poems. You can search for images. There's a whole array of things that you can actually do with ChatGPT as well.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
I think, of course, we can also use it to extract IC information from a model as
Mm.
well. There's a
Yes,
whole
yes,
array of application that we can actually do. Yeah.
yes.
Are you still gonna do a demonstration for us, or
Okay, sure. Let me try.
yeah?
So do the demo for ChatGPT login first. I didn't know the login take some.
Yeah, no worries. We'll wait for you.
Okay. So this is the chat. Okay, let me share the screen better for. Okay, pass IC in Google. So this was done in this morning actually. So can you provide me Python script for it to be executed in Google Colab to pass a standard IFC file to understand its file content, for instance, the elements and the materials. So certainly, right? So this ChatGPT replied, so generated the entire thing. And next thing, so get user to, as mentioned, I forgot. So can you get the user to provide the location path? So, okay, updated, the script is updated. Then, of course, it works. So, and then can you export it into Excel and ask the users input for the destination folder? Then, none. Three script, that's it. So within like, I don't know how. So this morning, ChatGPT actually works well. So to my surprise, it didn't give me any problem. So normally it will give a lot of problems.
What kind of problems does it give?
Yeah,
Delay in the response, or
not delay in the response. It's actually some bugs that's happening in the script. So therefore, you either need to feedback for the error, or you need to recraft your prompt.
okay.
Yeah. So normally I will recraft. It's faster. If you keep on doing, from my experience now, earlier on I will give them the feedback of the error. Error in, error out, then you will need to go into the loop of this loop. Oh, this loop for me, right, is 6 to 8 hours because I was building certain application that links Excel, need to extend because database is quite huge, so few thousands of them. So for the parameters, so we don't, yeah. So the testing part, wow, really takes time at 6 to 8 hours. So for now, what my experience is, hey, don't do that. So you you really document your instruction clearly, whatever steps. So to make it dummy proof your instruction. So it will save you a lot of time by having this conversation. So because when you rely on ChatGPT for its memory, well, then it's a different. Yeah, I mean, to me, it doesn't work really that well. Okay, let me zoom into the go to the Colab, Google Colab to show whether this how this works. Google Colab is actually meant for online Python programming. that can run Python codes.
So you don't code it in the Microsoft Visual Code Studio anymore.
Yeah, earlier on, yes, but I have this BIM, this easier platform, right? Because when you are using this kind of CDE, sometimes you tend to, where do you want to get the data, this and that. So
So it's
yeah,
now you are doing the collab is because then you can share it with your teammates.
yes.
You can
So,
collaborate
okay,
in real
yes.
time.
So for here, right, so I just copy paste whatever generated from there, right, into this Google Colab. Then I
Okay.
just click one button run, and you'll run. So for here, as you can observe, these are the elements being extracted. That's why I can see, there's so many elements, but I can see it really clearly. So why not make it into Excel? So therefore, we run again. So the Excel is being created. So as you can see over here, right? So it's being saved at my document. Document.
But your BIM file, where is your BIM file located?
So
It
this is the bin file.
automatically, so you
This is
automatically
the
pick up
IFC. So this IFC, right, is exported from Revit this morning.
okay.
Yeah. So I do another one now. So it's easier.
But
Okay.
but
So
how
this
does
is
the script actually go to the location of the file? It's actually in your in
uh,
your in your script.
the script. The script is generated from ChatGPT. So
Okay.
what I need is actually give ChatGPT the location of the file the IFC stored.
Which is typed into your script, correct?
Uh, not into the script. So okay. So for instance, right. Let me show you the collab
I'm just
just now.
curious because you skip from the
Yes, this
script
one,
and then
because it's generated. Let me go
I
into
just wanted to know how the script actually go to the model.
sure. Go to that just now. Yeah, collab. Where is the collab? I think it's gone. It's gone. Okay, it's here. So from here, right? So for instance, this is the thing. So let's click play. So for the script to work in this Google Colab, you just need to copy paste. After that, you run, right? I just click the run. And as you can see, the green cursor over here, it's showing what the Google Colab is doing. So it's reinstalling. So earlier I installed already. So it's reinstalling this IFC OpenShell for pandas. Yeah, then moving on forward, as you can see, it's uploading certain file. When you're uploading, right, which means you need to choose your file. So give in the file path. So for the file path, so this is the IFC. So open up. So you upload the file into Google Colab, then you do the work for you.
I see.
So for this script, right, they actually put the destination under the download folder. Yeah, by default. Of course, you
Okay.
can set.
Okay, then you can extract your Excel from there. Okay, got it. Yeah, got it.
It's a 7% done. So okay, anyway, this is the done completed version now. So it's materials and
You extract all your IC from here.
yes,
That's
yes.
good.
Yeah,
So
can I ask? Yes.
can I ask, you have been doing this for almost a year now since I introduced
Yeah.
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Do you understand what you're doing with the codes and the lines? Do you have a rough idea already? Um,
Uh,
uh,
okay, there are few things. So the thing is, normally people will have certain intent. So I actually teach this, shared this with my colleagues as well. So what they felt is quite similar to what I'm feeling. But the only difference is, hey, I want more, want more. I'm a very curious person. So I go into the codes, then I will go into the codes and understand, what is it doing? So instead, because the key thing is when you're relying totally on ChatGPT, it won't work. So therefore, you still need to have certain technical understanding for your codes, for your Python scripts, for the structure, so that you can go in and you can change something, then to make the entire workflow easier. So the coders, the programmers will be very happy. So they'll give you the entire structure of the codes. Then you just really focus on your thoughts. Then instead of debugging. So all this is called, augmented AI augmented workflow lah. This is what I feel.
And how do you then educate yourself on the technical part of the codes?
Yes. So for
Yeah.
the technical education, there's a few ways. So one is really I learn from scratch. For instance, I want to learn Bash. I want to learn C. Then there are a lot of exercises made available online on Git, right? So therefore, I downloaded the exercises. Then I do it one by one.
I see.
So I asked ChatGPT to provide me the script, then test run. Then from there, then I understand, what does this command, what is this command doing? Then how does it perform? So this is the learning part. Second way, right, is really to document, like what I show you just now, right? Ask ChatGPT to ask the large language model to provide you the step-by-step guide. So this is step-by-step guide is really useful. So I'm not doing this for only Git, and I do it for all the tasks I created for now. Because I thought it is really important to document. I have
For
short memory.
versioning.
Short memory. So 2 years later, I don't think I remember. Even for this Git, right? I frankly, I already forgotten what I did. So therefore, I need to go through. But
Proper documentation is required.
yes, proper documentation. So
And
need to set time for it as well. So for instance, the time span you can have for certain tasks. This one I can spend 30 minutes. But for people, right, human, we are time constrained. So therefore, we need to have this time.
so
time
every day, from the time that you're learning all this, how many hours you dedicate each day to do all this? You get to where you
yes,
are.
yes, yes. This is this is also sometimes it's taking over my life. Sometimes I thought
Okay.
when you are, which means when you are open to so huge a potential, right? You'll tend to spend more time on it. Then you tend to neglect your family. So I thought, supposingly you should be shorten your time span on technical stuff, right? But now it seems like, I'm spending more time. We need to learn this and that to do, I can now develop apps. So wow, it's really amazing. But the thing is, the time I try to limit myself. Yeah, after some discussion with my wife. So therefore we tend to control the time for it. So normally I spend 2 hours at least, 2 hours. So after the kids sleep, I'll wake up, wake up, continue. But sometimes the thing is in your head, right? So you don't want to stop. So you need to stop at certain period of time.
So it's addictive in a way. So don't tell me you wake up in the middle of the night and then you start.
Yes, 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 yes. I really do this because for me, I can only have my own time when the kids are asleep, right? Even when the kids are doing something, sometimes your body is here. I don't know, it's a mind absence thing. So your mind will be elsewhere. So your soul, I don't know where it fly. So this is a problem. I don't know if it happens to me or anyone. So
Do you
this
spend
is
time over your weekend to do this as well?
actually, yes. During the library, in the library when the kids are reading, then I open my laptop, try to try to resolve, do the coding. Wow, wow, this is. But the thing is, I felt, I can do this. But the thing is, the satisfaction is one thing. So, there's another aspect of life that you need to spend time with the kids. Read book for them. It's more meaningful. There's sometimes the feedback from my other side, our partner. Yeah, it's not that. Yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
there's a balance that we need to have.
Is your
Anyway,
passion
this is
for it?
personal. This is very personal. So for this sharing, right, is ought to be this AI impact. For this AI impact, I think it's really impactful, and I believe anyone uh, will benefit from it. Will benefit from it.
And are you okay if we share your deck of slides
Yes,
with
yes. It's meant to share. That's why I it's meant to share. So I thought it's useful.
I'll put it up on the link and then
But no issue.
yeah,
Yours
any
is
more
totally for my personal sharing, right? There's
yeah.
no any link that's related uh to any company, right? So the
Anyone that
sources
is
are there.
interested can actually download the
Can download and can try on your own. So for
mm,
instance, this ChatGPT, yeah, it's open, that it's not closed. So this kind of approach, it's also open, right? So it's just testing and retesting, just some strategies that I'm sharing now. So for clear prompt engineering to save everyone's time. So maybe this is already not new. ChatGPT is not new. It's already 1 year here. So I
yeah.
believe better users than me. So, but just that I'm excited lah. So, yeah. So for here, I these few days, so I tried this DALL-E, and I felt it's really inspiring. Yeah, for me lah, because I saw some sharing by another prof. Wow, he used a control net. I thought, hey, this is really good. So yeah, so I thought, hey, maybe DALL-E can do something similar, but I'm trying. So for now, I understand it cannot really control the thing as detailed as what the other platform can do. So I thought it would be a merge. So instead of one platform, relying totally on one platform, you still need to have different tools. Different tools have different strength. For here, it's already amazing enough for a few words that can be converted into this kind of so-called, to me, is realistic. But of course, there's no function. You need to include the function in for it to be
Okay.
really.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks a lot, Pong, for that very informative AI. It went beyond our expectations. I didn't expect you to come out with a deck of slides and showcase the things that you have been doing since we started our podcast somewhere. I think we started in last year. I think we came
Yes,
and
yes.
then we had our first session somewhere around in January of this year, I believe.
Yeah.
And you've gone so far on your own, and you're not only doing it for your work, but you're also doing it on a personal level as well,
Yes.
at the sacrifice of your own personal time with your family.
Yeah.
Definitely went beyond our expectations. So thanks a lot, Pong, for sharing this with us. I'm really glad that there are so many opportunities with ChatGPT as a form of artificial intelligence that we can use, and it's so readily available to us, and it's and you can actually subscribe it at a very low cost if you want it to be a bit more responsive to you with ChatGPT. I have no more further question. I just want to thank you for coming in, and I hope to see more of your work and more interesting things that you're doing with
Yes, yes.
ChatGPT.
I hope I can learn more things with control net side, but I'm not sure whether there's payment in it. I thought there's always a limitation on, they let you try certain data, then later on charge you for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a person, and then you need to pay is quite painful.
Okay. Thanks again,
Thank you.
Pong. Yeah, for
Thank
joining
you.
us. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us on the session on DigiTalk with Bimulus. We hope you have gained some insights from the episode and hope you could follow us in our next episode again. Thank you and goodbye.